Hello everyone, this is Crustlemania and welcome back to the 29th week selling results video. As I say every week, I'm surprised we're here at 29 weeks, but I want to clarify before getting into the video that there was one card that sold this week on eBay, but there are also a couple other cards that were sold and traded at the card show that I went to recently, but I will have a separate video for what those cards kind of went into, but I will talk about them this week. So technically there were 3 card sales and 2 card trades, so we will get into this video. So the first card you're seeing on the screen is actually an Omanyte full art from 151, and this card, the Irida trainer card and the last Brilliant Stars Charizard V, kind of not $2, the $4 or $5 card. That is the 3 cards that I put up on my eBay page, and they're the only 3 cards that I put up so far. And the Omanyte ended up selling rather quickly. I knew this Omanyte would sell. I just wasn't sure at what point in time I wanted to put Omanyte up, so I finally did. And this card ended up selling for about $10. And then after sales tax, transaction fees, and the shipping label fee, I made about a eBay net profit of $747. So this card I actually got from the Facebook Marketplace seller when I purchased the $80 worth of stuff, including the 2 151 poster boxes. So I actually have 2 more Omanytes that I got from that Facebook Marketplace listing. And I was just really testing the market with Omanyte, and I also wanted another sale this week to kind of continue the series of these videos since there's a following for these videos. So I was trying my best there, and that is the one card that sold on eBay this week. Just a little side note, I do actually have one other card in one of the previous weeks. There is a claim that came up on one of those cards, so I may talk about that in the next selling results video just because I'm trying to figure that one out. So a sale might have gone down from that week, but we'll see how that goes into the next week's video. So this is the only card that sold on eBay. Now, I actually went to a card show relatively recently in my local area. One thing I want to say about this in this video is that card show was crazy. The Pokemon bull market is really crazy because it took me an hour to get into the card show. And normally when I went to this card show about summer of 2024, there was no line to get in. This day, there was at least an hour from when my friend and I got there, an hour after the doors opened, and even behind us, there was at least the rest of the people in line were there for another hour. I'll explain that in the actual video for the card show, but at the card show, I actually traded 2 cards away. So the first card I traded away was the Entei V that I got from that same Facebook Marketplace seller I got the Omanytes from. And this one was a pretty clean copy, but the bottoms there was a little bit of imperfections, but this card was really clean. So I actually traded this card for some other cards that I'll show in the dedicated card show video that I'll do eventually. And this card, I was able to get it traded for $28 in trade, which I thought was really good value because Entei V shot up. So I was able to get a few cards off that, and you will see what I got from that show. But I think originally I got this thing for market when it was lower. So I made a little bit in terms of the trade and was able to get a couple cards that I may sell down the road. So I view that as a successful trade. Not really a sale, but a successful trade. So the next card I actually traded away was this Greninja Ex card. So I picked this card up at the last card show that I was at, and this card actually didn't trade for as much as I thought it was. I mean, I definitely bought it for lower than what it's going for now. So I actually traded this card away, I think, for about $24, and I think market was about $35. But there was a print line on the back that I didn't even notice when I first purchased this card. I just thought it looked cool. So that's why the vendors were kind of giving me a very low price on it, even though it was near mint, but it was off center and had like a print line on the bottom. Regardless, I still did pretty well, and I traded this card away at one of the vendors that I was buying a decent amount of cards at, so you'll see that in the future. But honestly, I did pretty well in this card because I bought it for under 20 bucks and I was able to trade it for about over 20. So I think I did pretty well there. Even though I spent more money on top when buying the cards with this in trade, it did help out having this card. So this card was traded away, and it was nice to own this card while I had it for a little bit of time, but I knew eventually that it would be going somewhere else, whether it being sold, flipped, whatever. But it's a really nice card. So the Greninja Ex kind of went away. So that was the last trade I did. Only brought 2 cards to that show. And the 2 cards that I sold this week were to my friend. And the first one was the Glaceon VStar. I finally was able to sell this card to my friend, and we did some sell and trade. So this card, I remember I told him that I would sell it to him at $27 because at the time this card was only going for about $27 to around $30. So I kind of honored and gave him that price. And this card has shot up to I think about $40. But we did kind of a sale and trade. Like I got some smaller cards from him, and then he put some money on top. So he basically paid pretty much market value for the card, but there were some trades in between, so it was fine with me. But this Glaceon VStar pretty much went away for about $27. So I consider this one a sale because it was a sale and there was money on top for trade. So this Glaceon VStar was really nice to own for the short time I had it, but I'm really glad that this card is going into my friend's collection, as he got the Leafeon VStar himself. So now he finally has the Glaceon VStar to complete his collection. I think he got the Leafeon for higher than what he got this Glaceon VStar for, but that's okay because I know that this card is going to a very good home and he will treat this card really well in his collection, and he is really excited to have this card in his collection. So really glad there. And the last card that sold this week was the Zerora VMax. So I got this one from the Facebook Marketplace seller that I got the Omanytes from. And this one was sold to my friend. I sold it to him for about $7. I think this card went up to about $9 or something market price. So honestly, this card is really nice. Again, this was also with trades as well, with a little bit of money on top. So went away for $7, but I was really glad that this card went into his collection. He looked at the art and was like, wow, this art is as good or maybe a little bit better than the Deoxys VMax. And side note, I didn't realize the Deoxys VMax from Galarian Gallery was a $40 card. You can look that up, or I'll put it in the video here. Really crazy. But this Zerora, he was saying like, wow, the art I might like a little bit better than Deoxys VMax, or it's just as good. So I was really surprised. I was really happy that this card went to him and into his collection. So I will show in the card show video what I got from my friends. So that will be at a later date. But overall, this card was a really nice card, and I'm really glad it's going into his collection. So overall, that is this week's sales, and I would say it's probably 3 card sales plus 2 card trades, but I probably won't put the 2 card trades in the thumbnail, so it's going to be just a 3 card sale this week, which I am pretty happy about. And honestly, the returns for the Entei and the Greninja, even though the Greninja I didn't get as much as I kind of hoped, it still was pretty good because the Entei kind of made up for that, and those 2 cards did a lot better in terms of like going up in value than I even imagined when I got those cards. I think in the beginning of December and one right around the end of December. So anyways, really glad that there were 3 sales this week and 2 trades, and there will be the showing of the card show cards, but I just wanted to include those as a kind of precursor to when that video comes out, and you will see those cards from what I got at the card show. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you guys in the next video, and we'll see if next week there are any sales. I'm not projecting any sales next week, but we'll definitely see. So anyways, have a good one, everyone. Peace.